Hey everyone, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today we're going to be doing the September 2020 monthly tarot reading for the sign of Gemini. Please keep in mind, this is a general reading, so it may not apply to your circumstances. However, you can take a look at this month's reading in regards to your Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus signs. So do take a look at your natal chart, see the corresponding zodiac signs, and see which video's title resonates for you most. Now, with regards to the spread, I'll be using the Celtic Cross, laying the key messages with the Rider-Waite tarot deck, and then getting further clarification using the intuitive. So, just to let you know, starting from this month moving forward, there'll also be extended tarot readings available for each monthly reading, okay? So this is only specifically for monthly readings. If you would like to access the extended reading for this particular sign or any of the others, you can find the information in my description box below. That will give you the link specifically to this particular sign's extended reading. Okay. So you can check that out if you feel like this message resonates for you. Okay. So let's go into it. Just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who's been liking, commenting and subscribing. It means a lot to have your continued support. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. You can hit the button and also the notifications bell so you're informed of when your next reading goes live on the channel. Okay. So I'm just gonna, sorry if my voice sounds very shaky at the moment. It's just, I don't know what's going on with it. I've had some throat issues lately, so I feel like my voice is still quite unstable. At least it's not cutting out right now, so that's something. But yeah, it has been, oops, give a bit more room. It has been a little bit on the shaky side, so I apologize if it sounds a bit weird or if it does cut out at any point. Hopefully it won't. I do have cough sweets on hand, so yeah, I'm prepared. And water, of course. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I know there's a lot taking place right now for everyone. And I can see that September's going to be a pretty full-on month for you as well from the cards I just pulled. So let's go into it without further ado. So in the position of your present circumstances, you have the Death card in reverse, so Scorpio energy. You could have this in your chart or be dealing with one. But I feel like it's a case of you are trying to, there's a shift that you're trying to go with, right? There's some changes that are coming up for you. And you're knowing, and you're having this sense of, you know, needing to change alongside it, right? Like you're kind of being pulled to shift along with the shifts, right? So you're aware that some changes need to take place on your side of things, and you might not be entirely sure how to do that. You know, you're like, okay, I know there's some stuff I need to heal and release, or there's some things that, you know, I do that isn't beneficial for me, but I don't know how to break that pattern. I don't know how to break the cycle. I don't know how to fully release the past, you know, things of that nature. So I feel like you're wanting to, but you're not entirely sure how to do that, right? And then it makes perfect sense because in the position of your challenge here, you have the Tower in reverse. So this is crossing the situation. So very strong Scorpio energy. I feel like some of you, yeah, you really are dealing with the Scorpio, have it very significantly in your chart. I do recommend, if that's the case, looking at Scorpio's reading and also taking a look at the last shadow work readings that I uploaded last weekend for yourself and Scorpio as well, okay? But regardless, I feel like with this being here, it's a case of you are trying to rebuild, right? I feel like this Tower moment's already occurred. That's why it's in reverse. You've already had to deal with a situation coming to an end. You've had to deal with a lot of healing, and now you're having to rebuild anew. And maybe that's the aspect that you're struggling with. You're like, I don't know how to move on. I don't know how to start afresh. I don't know how to rebuild, right? So that's what you're having to take a look at. And I feel like a lot of people are in this space where they're either, you know, a cycle is completely transforming or a cycle is coming to an end. So I feel like that's kind of the energy that's pertaining to this as well, that you're trying to rebuild anew, but you're not entirely sure how to do it yet. There may be some fear involved, but also just, you know, it's been a while. Perhaps you've had to do this kind of work, or you've had to, you know, really shake up your environment or change some significant aspect of your life. So you're just kind of like, I don't know how to do this anymore. I really don't know where to begin with this. So maybe that is a little bit of that going on. But we'll see when we clarify. In regards to your feelings, you have the Two of Cups, so water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You are feeling, okay, so this is the interesting thing. So part of you feels like it's not ready and you're not really sure how to rebuild, right? But in your feelings, you are very much ready to embark in a new union, right? You want, this is you know, a significant connection, and this is the start. This is like literally the coming together, right? Where you first decide to come together in a very powerful you know, emotional commitment. So I feel like that's where you're opening yourself up to, that's what you're ready for, and that's what you're wanting. But you're just not sure how to even begin and who with necessarily, right? Or even if you have someone in mind that you would like to consider, you're still just like, I don't even know if this is a good idea. I don't even know how to approach this person. You know, how do I, you know, after everything I've experienced, how do I even begin to embark in a new connection, right? So there is a bit of that. With regards to your recent past, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So you could be dealing with an Earth sign. But regardless, I feel like, yeah, the reason you're finding it difficult, I feel, is because you're still remembering what you gave to a previous connection. You're still remembering, you know, all that you had invested into another, all that you'd invested into the possibility of having a serious commitment, a long-term commitment, you know, a family perhaps, a wedding, you know, marriage, things of that nature. I feel like you put a lot of work into moving towards that, and because perhaps it didn't come together, or perhaps, you know, it resulted in divorce, things of that nature, there's a lot of reflecting on that and being like, okay, how do I now move on from this, because this is gone, right? And I think as well, for some of you, I feel like you felt in the past that your heart was still with this person, right? And that you didn't know how to reclaim it for yourself. Interesting. Okay. Now, with regards to your near future, you have the Nine of Wands in reverse. So, fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I feel like you're wanting to come out again. It's almost like, even though it's fire energy, I feel like this is kind of like when Cancers retreat into their shell. It's that kind of energy. It's like now you're slowly coming around to the idea of coming back out of your shell again. You could have Cancer in your chart, right? But I feel like, you know, it's that energy of, you know, being very reluctant and very wary, right, of coming out of your shell, but at the same time wanting to do that. So you're taking like your first baby steps out of the cocoon, right, and into the big wide world. It's that kind of energy. And there's nothing wrong with that. When you go through a significant change like this, you know, a huge life event, right, where there's a big change, such as divorce, separation, a breakup, right, then yeah, especially if it was, you know, years long, the commitment, or it was very intense, yeah, it's understandable that you'll be in this kind of energy when you're considering putting yourself out there again. It's not easy. Okay. So the next card you have in the position of your advice is the Hanged Man in reverse. So I think it's asking you to take some time out to really look at perhaps where you've been. Okay, don't take this the wrong way, Gemini, because I don't mean it in the worst way at all. there may have been certain tendencies you have where you will forget that when you're in a relationship or there's some kind of connection, there's more than one person involved, right? And sometimes perhaps you were overlooking certain needs, right? And not because you were doing it intentionally, but because if a person, say, they mention how they're feeling or there's something you did that upset them, you would take it as a personal attack. So then you would deflect it and you would only focus on your thoughts and feelings and what you feel needs to happen in the connection. So maybe you're having to really look at that this time. Perhaps you've been doing a lot of work on that and reflecting on that, but it's just warning you of that tendency, right? And it's coming again out of a space of fear. It's not that you don't care about what the person wants or needs, far from it. It's just you take criticism as an attack, right? Or you take it as criticism when it's not even necessarily criticism, right? And that can put you in a space of, well, you know, unless we do it my way, this is not happening at all, right? So that can create a lot of tension in a situation. So when you're connecting with someone new, you have to be very mindful of that tendency, right? And really think about what you're saying before you say it, because otherwise you may push the other person away. Okay. So with the next card in the position of your external influences, so this can be places, people, circumstances, situations that are playing out. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So yeah, I feel like there's something that needs to be resolved in order for you to take this new step forward, because there's something that still hasn't closed out, right? The previous cycle, while the situation may be dead, there's still some unfinished business here. There's still something that needs resolving here. That needs to be put to bed for good before you can take this new step forward, right? So yeah, you may need to actually have a conversation with this person from the past in order to truly, you know, close the chapter, right? Okay. Now in the position of your fears, you have the King of Wands. So fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Could have been dealing with a fire sign, right? But I feel like with this being in your fears, it's a case of you are, I think this is more about what you're afraid of being perceived as, right? Because I feel like you do have a lot of passion, right? I think it's more of a case of you want people to associate you with the good qualities of the King of Wands, but not the shadow aspect of the King of Wands, right? So you want to be seen as determined, passionate, very driven, right? You want to be seen as that, creative, inspirational, but at the same time you don't want to be seen as someone who is, you know, emotionally unavailable, is, you know, jealous, is controlling, is demanding, only cares about their thoughts and feelings, things like that, right? So I think because of this energy here that we discussed, sometimes you can be perceived as that, right? I know this is not in the reverse, but that's what I'm getting from this, that you're afraid that sometimes you can be perceived as that just because you get on the defensive quite quickly, right? Even though that's not really what's going on and how you feel. It's not indicative of what's actually happening. It's just that's the perception that people can have of you sometimes because of this defensiveness that you have, right? So I feel like you're afraid that perhaps this person will perceive you in that way as well. So that's why it's really important that you take a good look at that, you do the introspective work and see where your triggers are and why you, you know, may say things and behave in a certain way that would lead people to believe that, and what you can do to prevent that from happening, right? You know, like I said, taking a second to pause before you respond, seeing it for what the person's really saying to you, right? Objectively, trying to detach your emotion from it and seeing what this person's actually trying to communicate to you before you go on the defense, right? Because once you get defensive, you actually then go on the offense, I feel like. So it's something to just be aware of. Now, with regards to your hopes, you have the Seven of Pentacles here. So I feel like, you know, all of what did you know, this I feel like where a connection maybe in the past had been imbalanced, where there was imbalance between the two of you, where one person would feel like they're giving more than the other and vice versa. I think you're really pondering on that. You're just like, I'm hoping that we, whatever I do in my life, whether it's a connection, whether it's my work, I can find that equilibrium, right? And that all that I put into a relationship, a connection, my work, whatever, is going to pay off. It's going to feel like it's balanced, that I'm going to be rewarded for my efforts, that I'm not just going to feel like I've wasted a lot of time, energy, and resources into something that didn't flourish, right? So you're kind of looking back on all things and trying to assess. I feel like there's a lot of assessing and introspection going on right now, which is not a bad thing at all, because that's what's going to help you with this, healing that's still taking place, and also closing out the chapter so that you can take positive steps towards this new beginning without falling into the same pitfalls, right? It's so relevant to the card actually I pulled today for the energy of the collective. I do like a random pull each day, just one card for the collective, and I post it on Twitter and Instagram, and I feel like it's very relevant to that kind of energy, right? But yeah, interesting. Oh, okay, I just remembered, I forgot this. So in the position of what's crowning you, so what's within your power to affect, you have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, or Earth energy. Yeah, this is it. So you're feeling where there was imbalance. I feel like there's still a certain level of imbalance within yourself, and you're trying to address that. You know there's imbalance coming from stagnation, because you kind of got used to things being in a set way now, and because something isn't completely cleared up or resolved here, that is creating imbalance within yourself, because there is a shift taking place. There are significant changes happening around you. You are being prepped for a new cycle that may even involve a new relationship, but that can't happen, right, until this situation, whatever it is with this person, is brought to some kind of conclusion, some kind of resolution, right? Because otherwise you're still going to feel that energetic imbalance where maybe one of you is chasing the other, and it changes. But either way, the reality is neither of you really feel like this can work. So if that's the case, you need to have this conversation so you can fully release it and you can focus on your new beginning, right? Okay. Now, finally, with regards to the potential outcome, you have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So lots of earth energy here. But I feel like it's the case of you're having to release this idea that you were the one that was abandoned, or you were, that, I don't know, just like this feeling of, you were the one that was abandoned and left out in the cold, and the world was such a cruel place to you, and all the rest of it. Like this kind of self-pitying energy is what I'm getting. You're trying to release that, which is good, because that's not really the reality. Yeah, okay, things may have been quite bad between you. I don't know the situation. Or, this person may have been the one to leave, right, the situation. But that doesn't mean the world is just cruel and left you out in the cold, right? It means that there was something really not working within the connection, right? And it either needed to be addressed and healed, or it needed to be released. So that's what took place. And you're understanding that now, like, I wasn't abandoned. Like, this just did not work. This was not coming together, right? So, yeah, you just have a change of perspective now. But you're trying to see where this can actually be a blessing in disguise, right? You're trying to turn the narrative around on this situation, because you've always been looking at it, I feel like, from a more negative lens, and just kind of mourning the loss and feeling like you'll never be happy again in a connection. But now you're starting to change how you feel about that. The way you're looking at it is changing as well. So that's positive, actually. That's good. I mean, that's the thing, Gemini. You don't really want to be operating from a space of just, woe is me and life is so hard and, no one cares about me, because it's not true. It's just because of the, what you experienced in terms of the loss of the connection, it made you feel like that for quite some time, I think. You might have even been depressed for some people, a few of you. So that makes it even worse, because that would then skew your perception of the situation even more. But I feel like you are coming out of that now. Even if you have been depressed, I feel like that's changing. Okay, I think we're done, yeah. Okay. Interesting. So let's have a look then. In regards to your position of what's your present circumstances, the 10, I'm getting confused. Give me a second. Oh, I think it's the heat in here. I need to get the aircon, I swear. I need to get the aircon on. But it's kind of loud, so I don't really want to put it on. It's bad enough with hearing upstairs, echoing. Anyway, so clarifying the death card here. In reverse, you have the 7 of Swords in reverse. Air energy. Yeah. There's something that still needs to be addressed here. I think you felt like, the other person in the situation just kind of tried to just pull away and put their barrier up, right? They just kind of retracted from the situation and put their wall up, their guard up. So it's harder for you to really get the conclusion that you needed, because maybe you're still on talking terms, maybe you're still interacting, or possibly even seeing each other. But it feels like when you try to broach this subject, maybe this person themselves get a bit defensive, because they feel like maybe you're going to attack them, right? Remember what I was talking about with going from the defense to the offense, yeah? Or they feel like you might try and, push this into giving it another go, right? So I feel like that's kind of what's going on here, but I think it's way past time for you to have that conversation now. And you can come in from a very clear, calm resolve, right? You don't need to come in and be all passionate about it, because I feel like obviously if you come in kind of very brash and just very confrontational, then obviously that person's not going to want to have this conversation. But if you just, amicably and friendly sit down and just, express to them how you're feeling at this time and what you want and how you think you guys can best resolve this, and then give them an opportunity to speak and share their thoughts without you reacting so emotionally, then yeah, they will be able to open up and express themselves honestly as well. So I feel like that really needs to take place at this point. That conversation needs to happen. So clarifying the Tower in reverse in position of your challenge, you have the 10 of Pentacles. So that's awesome. This is it. It's saying like the reason these huge shifts are taking place and the reason why that conversation is absolutely paramount is because you don't know what blessings are on the horizon for you. You think that it's going to be impossible to rebuild what was lost, to start again. I mean, it's showing you can have everything you want if you start, right? You just need to start and to heal and resolve what's taking place right now. So this could be even a new start with the same person, or this could be a new beginning with an entirely new person. I just feel like with that 2 of Cups there, it's more likely to be someone new, right? But it could be, and then we also have the Fool in reverse, the Fool in the recent past. So this could be someone new, but this could also be a reconciliation, right? After having this conversation. So we'll see. Anyway, so with regards to your recent past, the Queen of Pentacles here, you have the Fool, okay? Aries energy. As I was saying, fire sign, you could be dealing with an Aries, but I feel like you had to take a leap of faith, even though you felt like you were leaving your heart with this person, and that you found it very difficult to walk away. You knew that you had to embrace a new beginning. You had to take steps on moving your life forward, because otherwise if you stayed stagnant for too long, you would just watch your life pass you by and you'd be no happier for it, right? You'd just be stuck in place. It'd be like being in a time capsule. So yeah, you just wanted to really at least take the first steps forward so that you can feel like your life is somewhat getting back on track, that there is meaning again, right? And it's not all just fixated on this past relationship, that the other aspects of your life that do bring fulfillment are being, are being brought into viewpoint again, right? Being brought into focus. So I feel like that's what you did. You started focusing on, the other aspects of your life that you felt were very important to you, and that you wanted to really just evolve in, right? So clarifying the Two of Cups here in the position of your feelings, you have the Devil in reverse. Okay. So yeah, it's interesting. This Capricorn energy. So you could be meeting a Capricorn, or this past person could be a Capricorn. But I feel like this is more about saying that you felt like, so this is awesome. Just the download I got just then. This is about you coming to the realization that love is not the same as attachment, right? Possibly what you're still experiencing with regards to the past person is attachment, right? And what you're coming into union with this new person is real love. So that's a powerful turnaround. And I feel like that's part of the realization you're coming to, right? And that's why you'll find it difficult to approach this new cycle, because first of all, you have to close out the last chapter, right? So I feel like for the most part, this won't be a reconciliation, but for some of you, it might be. You might have a whole new beginning with this person. But I feel like, that's why you have to bring this to a conclusion and release, energetically free yourselves from each other, right? Cut the energetic bond, because this is an entanglement for sure. And then you can come into union with someone who is meeting you on a soul level, wishing to share their cup with share their cup with you, and you wanting to share your cup with them, and it being free. You see how these people are chained, right? These two here are chained. They're in service to the devil, which is the more shadow aspect. This represents literally like codependency, fear, betrayal, things like that. Just projection, all that sort of things. Whereas this is about understanding, meeting of minds, meeting of hearts, mutual give and take, mutual respect, equality, right? Balance, choosing to commit, but still being free and complete and whole beings, separate from each other, So amazing. It's actually very positive. So I feel like what this is clarifying is actually the mirror opposite of what you are leaving behind, right? So it's showing you that this is not, you might have some fears that this will lead to more of the same, but it's not, this is in reverse. It's showing you that fear is illusionary at this point, because what you had in the past is that, right? But this new connection here, totally different energy, as you can see. Okay. So clarifying the Six of Pentacles in reverse in the position of what's crowning you, you have the Hierophant, okay? So this is Taurus energy. I feel like it's a case of you're understanding where things are imbalanced, you're understanding where the imbalance lies within yourself, what you need to do to best bring yourself back into a sense of equilibrium. Because I feel like this is also speaking of this as well. Your divine feminine and masculine aspects coming back into union, where they were at odds in the past, right? So it's healing the shadow and really bringing the divine feminine and masculine aspects into union in the ascended, in the more ascended energies when it comes to your higher selves. Okay, amazing. So yeah, I feel like there is that going on as well. But ultimately, you want to see balance in all aspects of your life, right? Equal give and take, things feeling fair, feeling grounded, feeling like there is that energetic flow. And the divine is telling you that, it's not taking place right now. You're not feeling that right now, because you still have some healing to do. You still have some conversations, or at least a conversation that needs to take place regarding this past connection, because it's not completely wrapped up yet. You still have things that have been left unsaid. There's still an energy of things not being completely concrete, so that needs to take place. Now, clarifying the Hanged Man in reverse in the position of your advice, you have the Ten of Cups. Water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. This is saying that, yeah, you want the emotional abundance. You want, what you really want is the Ten of Pentacles and Ten of Cups. That's so clear. That's why they're so prominent in this reading. It's like you just want to have this happy ever after in all possible, like in every possible way, and share that with another who wants the same thing as you, that cares about the same things as you, that has the same values, principles, that is just as loving as you are, right? So you're just wanting to find your perfect match, is what I feel like, and then have this divine union with them, right? But as I said, you just have to be careful that you don't fall back into old habits and old ways of expressing yourself when you do come into union with this person, and they try and communicate things from their side, their feelings, what their wants are. You do have to consider that the person you're going to come into connection with is not going to see things exactly the same way as you. They're not going to feel the exact same thing as you. They're going to have different needs as well. It won't be identical. So as long as you're flexible and you're willing to meet in the middle, like these two people are, then you will have your Ten of Cups for sure. Okay. So clarifying the Wheel of Fortune in reverse in your external influences, you have the Six of Cups. Water energy again. Lots of emotion coming up now, especially when it comes to what you appear to be drawing in at this time towards you. So I feel like you probably manifested this on some level. But anyway, I feel like, with the Six of Cups being here, it's like, yeah, the reason it's not over is because you're still nostalgic of the past, what you had with this past person. There's still things, in your heart space that need healed with regards to what took place with you and this person, the good times you had together, the love you had for each other, that keeps you locked into the past. So that's impossible to free yourself if you're still reliving the past constantly. So that needs looking at, because the Wheel of Fortune is not turning at the moment. It's actually, in reverse. It's in the opposite direction, or if it is moving, it's moving in the opposite direction, because you're still unwilling to let go of the past fully. And that's what's blocking this future possibility, really abundant future possibility that's trying to come in and be a reality, right? So clarifying the King of Wands here, you have the Five of Wands. So yeah, you're afraid that you're going to be seen as confrontational, as I said, argumentative, jealous, easily rattled, maybe domineering, controlling, right? Someone who picks fights easily, with that Five of Wands. So you really don't want to be perceived as this. Maybe your past person perceives you as this because a lot of arguments took place between you and perhaps you were triggered by certain things, right? So you don't want to be perceived like this moving forward, because you feel like that really doesn't cover all that you are, and it's not really indicative of who you are as a person. It's just certain things trigger that within you, right? So that's why it's really important that you do have a look at that. Clarifying your the Seven of Pentacles in the position of your hopes, you have the Knight of, oh God, I'm getting confused now. Knight of Swords, right? Some more air energy. You are trying to move forward, essentially. You're like, yeah, the road is long. It's not been easy, but what can I do? Is there any point in torturing myself on what happened in the past? No. What I can do is make sure that whatever I give is equally reciprocated, and that, we continue to work on the connection in a healthy way. So in order to do that, I need to also continue working on myself, release what I need to release, and keep moving forward, right? Because I know what it is that I want, so I have to go after it. It's pretty much what I'm seeing here. And then finally, clarifying the Five of Pentacles in reverse in the position of your potential outcome, you have the Seven of Wands in reverse. So that's good. So I feel like, yeah, I mean, especially because you had the, oh, I didn't go to this card. I'll go to that in a minute. Especially because you had the the Nine of Wands in reverse here in the position in your near future. You getting the Seven of Wands in reverse as well is good, because it's showing that it's not that it's saying you're just going to let go of your boundaries and you're going to just let people treat you anyhow. It's just saying that you're not going to be so guarded. You're not going to see everything as an attack, right? You're going to put things into perspective where you realize that, you know, you weren't necessarily abandoned, and, you know, the world is not trying to be cold and harsh and clinical towards you. It's not trying to set you up for failure. What it is doing is showing you where the pitfalls lie, showing you the lessons that need to be learned, so that moving forward you don't fall into the same traps, you don't make the same mistakes, you don't get into connections that are going to be unhealthy, right? So that's what it's about, and you're coming to realize that. So you're like, okay, I don't need to protect myself from living. I need to just start living again. I need to start opening up. I need to start exploring possibilities, especially when it comes to love again. So amazing. All right, I just want to have a look at this quickly, because I didn't actually go into the clarification of your near future. Obviously, you're going to want to know that. So clarifying the Nine of Wands, as we were just discussing in reverse, you have the King of Cups. So water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Could very well be dealing with the water sign. As I said, strong Scorpio energy here. So I feel like because it's in the position of your present and your challenge, the water sign that's, you know, I feel like that Scorpio could be the past person. You may be, you know, coming into union with another water sign, so maybe another Scorpio, a Cancerian or a Pisces, but not necessarily. They could just have those in their chart somewhere, or just embody this energy, right? So I also do see Aries and Taurus prominently, and we also have fire, Aries, you know, like I said, Aries, Sagittarius and Leo. So, you know, I see those signs prominently. But anyway, I'm waffling now. With this, I feel like it's a case of emotionally you're getting very grounded, which is good. And I feel like that's going to do a lot of good when it comes to this energy here, because that's the only real pitfall that I'm seeing, right? That defensiveness and seeing everything as an attack, and maybe getting a little bit too caught up in things being your way or the highway, that sort of thing, right? So I feel like there is an awareness of that, and you have been doing some work on that, because you are getting into a space where you're more emotionally grounded. You still allow yourself to feel, but you're just grounding that emotion so you don't react so, you know, in such a volatile way, right? And yeah, you're starting to realize there's not really anything to fear, that you got it covered, right? You got your bases covered. You can look at things from a new perspective. You can interact in a whole new way, right? And that whoever's moving towards you will have to match this energy also. And I feel like they will be, right? That this person that's coming towards you is that, right? So that's why you're feeling more confident and feeling more like you can let your guard down a little bit, and that you don't have to hide away or protect yourself from something, because this person is resonating with that energy, and that's making you step more into that energy yourself, which is awesome. So yeah, that's essentially it, Gemini. So one of the main takeaway from this is you need to have the talk, right? You need to have that conversation. You need to do whatever you need to do to free yourself from the past, and then allow this new connection to come in. When you see signs that this person is showing up, that they are open to at least getting to know you on some level, why not take the chance, right? Because I see a lot of potential abundance coming in for you. Like, this is a significant connection. 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, that's like the happy ever after, you know? So you've got to take a leap of faith here, but only when you're ready, only when you've cleared up this past energy, okay? So I hope this helps. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and do hit the notification bell so you're informed of when your readings go live. And yeah, we'll go into an extended with this. What I'll do is I'll take a look at who this new person is that's coming in, what's likely to occur with this past person, and any further advice when it comes to what you should do at this time to help you get out of your head and really focus on this new beginning. Okay, so sending you lots of love, lots of support and encouragement. If you do want to have a look at those things, those energies, the link is in the description, so please feel free to click that. Otherwise, I'm sending you so much healing energy throughout the month of September. I know you'll be fine, it's just a process, and like I say, you do have to have that conversation if this resonates for you. So all the best, Gemini, and I will do another reading for you very soon. Bye.